Welcome back to our course all about ScoreApp and getting set up. So last time what we did, we created a very simple landing page for a quiz we're going to create all about email marketing. You can see it is just a one section quiz. We click it, form comes up and it's going to take them into the questions. So the next step that we need to do is the questions themselves. So if you go to build here on the left, you'll see questions here. Now, how it works with ScoreApp is you can have categories if you want as well. And you can see these here, you've got categories that we can have for the scoring. And the best way for me to explain this is to actually show you. And I also want to show you how you can use things like AI to help you with this. So I've just done this earlier. I've gone into ChatGPT and I've gave it a big summary of my actual quiz that I want to make. You may not have much information in your quiz yet, so don't worry if you don't have a lot of information like this to give it. Just give it what you have. So I've told it here I'm creating a scorecard in ScoreApp. It's going to be called I Own Email Marketing Wizard. I want it to be able to score people on their current email marketing so that they know where their games are. Not games are, but I should not say that as a spelling error. I'll be covering the basics of email marketing, such as using an email marketing system, having DKIM SPF mark set up, using the domain name. I'm going to have a section of questions about growing the email list, such as do you promote it, have you got a pop-up, etc. Then I want a section of questions about automation. So do you have a welcome series? Do you have emails that re-engage people? Or do you have onboarded emails? And then a section about maintaining a list. So do you get rid of people or bounce? Do you get rid of people not opening emails? Do you check your email stats? And then also I want a section which is going to be about, do you send weekly emails? Do you actually send a sales email out? What's the percentage of sales to emails? Things like that. So I've said, based on this, can you give me the names of the categories for the questions, some example questions, and can you give me the scoring names? So instead of low, medium, or high. And obviously it keeps stuff in theme with me because it knows me, my chat GPT. And you can see here what it's done is it's basically come up with some categories. So we could have foundations of magic, and this will be all the questions about the tech setup. About summoning your audience, it'll be about list growth, enchanted automations, it'll be about the sequences, potion maintenance, that'll be about the hygiene of your list, and then keeping the spell alive, so regular communication. So I'm kind of liking these categories, so I'm going to go with these. Obviously, you can play about with it. I may do that later on. I may have a play about with it, but for the purpose of the video, we're going to go and put these in. So I'm going to go in here, and on the left-hand side, we're going to go into categories, and I'm going to add the categories first. So I'm going to put in here the foundations of magic, and I'm actually going to steal this little description it's gave me as well. And if you want to give it an icon, you can. Now on here, you can basically say that it doesn't affect the total score if you give points in this, or it does, it's part of the total score. And for me, it is going to be part of the total score. So I'm going to press create. Then next, we're going to go to the next one. So we've got summoning your audience. We're going to put that in there, and we're going to do list growth and lead management and put that in there as well and press create. You can do the next one, and we're going to put this in. And you don't have to have this many categories. You can choose how many categories that you actually want. You may not want categories. You may just want it that people get a total score. And if that's the case, ignore what I'm doing right now. You do not need the categories. But obviously by the end of this course, it will make sense as to why we actually have the categories. And I have totally done that one wrong. There we go. Here we go. So now we've got our categories. And what it's also done now is given me some example questions. So what we need, I'm actually going to use these just to get off speed, but obviously I'm actually going to go through and reword these, maybe add some more questions in. And I want to just point out, you don't have to have the exact same amount of questions per category. When it comes to the scoring system, it will work out that on its own. So how this works, if we go to questions here, it will ask us to write our question. And you've got different question formats. So I'm just going to press add question just to show you. So you've got yes, no, maybe, multiple choice buttons. You've got check boxes, sliding scales, and things like this. So what I would always say is use a variety of things. Don't make them just, do you do this? Yes. Do you do this? No. So let me just show you what it means. So obviously foundation of magic we're going to go into. And this is all about, do you use a dedicated email marketing system? So we could put that in there, and they could put yes or no. Let's reword that and put, yes, I have an email marketing system. Or we've got, no, I send them manually or not at all, for example. So then what we're going to do now, we've got this, is on the right hand side, you can see the answers here. And if we tick the score in, we can say if they score in Foundations of Magic, so this is the Foundation of Magic question, if they say yes, then we want to give them so many points. Now, a lot of people will put like 1, and then they might put 0. So no could be 0. I prefer to do it, and what I'd recommend doing it is put a 5 in there. Don't worry about what it adds up to. Seriously, do not worry about what it adds up to. And no would be 0. And the reason for that is if you do something like a question with a sliding scale, obviously that sliding scale you might 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just makes the weighting of the scoring a lot easier as well. And what you've also got in here is dynamic answers, okay? So in here it says jump to. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to, right at the end, have a screen saying, due to you not having an email marketing system, the rest of these questions will not be relevant to you. This quiz scorecard is for people who are currently doing email marketing. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. And what we could do then is say on here, if someone, if we click on answers, says no, then they will jump to that info screen, okay, due to not having an email marketing system. Or it could be they jump straight to the results page, okay? But I want to get them to that first, and then they'd go to the results page. So then when I'm adding my questions in next, if we have a look, we've got, is your domain authenticated with DKM, SPF, and DMARC? So for that one, because there's 3 things, I'm going to actually choose a choice box basically, so they can tick which ones it is. So I'm just going to move this question up, because obviously we want them to jump down to it, and we can put in here, as you can see, what we're going to do. So I'm just going to copy this question in here, and we're going to put that there, and we're going to put none, or we're going to put DKAM is set up, SPF is set up, DMARC is set up, like that. And then in the question here, what we can do is we can basically say, obviously what they can do is they can tick multiple on these. So what I'm going to do here is on the scoring, obviously for Foundation of Magic, they get 0 points if they tick none. For DKM set up, they can have 5 points. For the SPF being set up, they can have 5 points. And for DMARC being set up, they can have 5 points, like that. So you can just set that up there. So they get a total of 15. Like I said, don't worry too much about the scoring. It all works out on its own. So this is how now we've kind of set up things like that. But then I'm also going to add a question of, I don't know, like that. And then for that one, for I don't know, their scoring is literally going to be Foundation Magic 0. So you can have multiple ones giving the same score. Just to add into this as well, let's just say that you wanted to say that this one also is about automations. Obviously it's not. Then you could tick that and say, actually, I want them to score 2 points in there and 2 points in here. So you can do scoring in multiple categories as well, just to show you that that is actually possible. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to pause this video. It's not going to actually pause for yourself. Add all these questions in, just so save you the time of actually having to sit here and watch all of that. Right then, so you, that was nice and quick. For me, it wasn't. So now you can see we've got all of these questions in here. And I just want to show you, obviously, what we have done. We've got some which obviously have multiple different answers that people can answer. Some have 3 answers, some have 5, like this, for instance. We've got some which are like a sliding scale, like this as well. And then we have got some that have some conditional logic in it, such as, let's have a see, this one, where is it? Here we go. Do you remove people who haven't opened in a while? So this is about if people remove people from their email list. And if they basically say no, they don't, then it would skip this question, which is about what is classed as inactive to you, because there's no point asking that question because they don't clean their list. So it skips that question and sends them to this one. So how this works is it literally goes down one by one, and that's how you structure your questions. And then what you can see at the end here is obviously we've got this screen, which earlier we set up, which it skips to on the first question about asking if they have an email marketing system. But obviously, if they answer the last question, which is this, it will automatically go to that next one because that's the next thing in the flow. So what we've done here as well is added some logic in here, as you can see, that says jump to the results page after, because that's what we want to do. We want to jump to the results page after because we don't want them to get this. And we've got all our questions added into here. We've got our categories set up. So the only thing that's actually left to do is actually the scoring. So what I mean by this is obviously we've got the categories, we're giving points, but what we're going to score this as, and we're going to call it low, medium, and high, for instance. So I'm just going to press save up here at the top right before I exit out of here. I'm going to go into settings first just to show you this as well. You can basically group things by category, or you can do it by a list. And if you want to, you can say, you can show the answer values, but we don't want to do that. And you can also change like the colors in here as well if you want to. So I'm now going to press the back button and I'm going to go into settings and I'm going to go into score tiers. So earlier on in the video when we were setting up the settings, we set this up with some random score tiers such as this, so that it was if it was a spellbound starter, if it was 0 to 25, potion mixed if it was 26 to 50, etc. I have gone in now and asked for some different ones just to see what we've got, and we can see, I actually prefer this set here where you've got Muggle, Apprentice, Sorcerer, and Wizard Supreme, because obviously I did ask it to give me something in regards to that as well. So I'm actually going to go into here and I'm going to change this to Muggle on that one. Then we've got Apprentice. I've lost my screen again on this one. We've got Sorcerer on here. And then it's going to be a Wizard Supreme if they've got everything sorted. And then what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the results on the next video, just so that you can see now how this all works. But basically, people are going to get 2 scores. They're going to get their total score for the email marketing wizardry, which is going to give them a score based on this. It's going to rate them as a sorcerer, a muggle, or an apprentice. But they're also going to get a score based on the categories that we set up. So they will basically get a score in each of these categories as well. So it might be that their foundations of magic is really high, but actually keeping the spell alive, the score low in that category. So they're going to get 2 sets of scores, 1 per category and 1 total one. And we're going to see that more clearly when we do the results page on the next video.